time to stop and take a breath with Wendie and Deb. That means if you need to get up and get on the phone and follow us outside, take a breath of fresh air. It's time to just take a breath. Welcome.
Wow, Wendy, it is time to take a breath. I don't know about you, but I've had one heavy week. It's been so busy. I feel like I was saying the other day that I start my day in the dark and I end my day in the dark. I don't know. Being able to at least see outside is a thing, but wow, it's been a busy week.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so it's not the first week of the year. I'm looking at the date going, oh my stars, it's already the 14th. We're halfway through January.
Wow.
Holy cow. I can't even say, oh, I just came back from the holidays and it was busy. This week has been crazy, and wow, I've just been looking forward to this. And you know what? Some of you may notice it's a little bit later today. Guess what? Opportunity knocks. And so we had to push it out. So here we are.
It has been, and that's what we're going to be talking about, opportunity today. But Wendy, we've had to adjust our schedules, the things that we do together. How do we cover each other? How are we making sure that we keep our commitments, but be able to jump on those opportunities as well? So it's been a week.
Well, you know what? Okay, let's be real. Ladies, you come to Debra and I, and we're pretty real here. It's been a year. It has been a year. And if you had told me a year ago that you're going to start a business making masks with all kinds of goofy things on them, with, masks for all the holidays that people are going to wear, you know what I would have done last year this time? I would have been very polite, but I probably would have hung up and done a lot of giggling. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know that I would have believed that that was an opportunity. But look at all the people who seized that during that time. Who'd have thought?
Oh, exactly, Wendy. I'm with you. If somebody had said this is the thing to do, I'm like, really, who's going to wear these masks? Oh, wait a minute, the world. The world needs masks. At first, this was a great way to support our emergency services people, and I know that many people got to their sewing machines and started helping out, but then it became, who knew, an accessory. It's a fashion accessory
I
that we
know.
can't live without. We have to have.
Okay, I could live without it, but I'm not supposed to. So we're going to make sure we get there.
Well,
But or another one, that I would order food to be delivered from my favorite restaurants instead of taking a moment and enjoying the opportunity to go out and dine with friends. I'd be sitting in my own house going, I can't cook another meal. I need somebody to bring me food. Who would have thought?
I'm going to tell you, I had that thought before, but it was the idea of what restaurant is going to deliver it to me, right? And now we have all kinds of restaurants.
They all do.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what else comes. I saw a dentist coming to your house. I seen a dog washer coming to your house.
Well, that
I
I knew.
have seen medical people coming to your house, and I don't mean EMS. I mean, like a nurse coming to your house. It's amazing how, like, all these new opportunities, people have seized upon them. And I don't know about you, but that just kind of fills my heart that, that it isn't a season of destruction or loss or, mayhem. It is really it can be a season of what is the next step? What's the opportunity that I can take advantage of?
We were at a board meeting, I think it was, and one of our board members was talking about, we've had the highest number of businesses open in this last year than in, I don't even know how long. I'll have to look up those facts and share. I could not believe it. We've spent so much time talking about all the bad, but there are people who have completely pivoted. Okay, now, Deborah, you have got to tell them about that restaurant idea you were talking to me about the other day. I thought, okay, now that one, somebody is brilliant.
I'm going to tell you, I caught it on the news. I can't even tell. I tried to find out more information about it. I haven't been able to find it again. But a restaurant owner that said, he was closed. He couldn't even do outdoor dining anymore. And so, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? He went and rented RVs. He brought them in a group and created a restaurant campground that you could go to and have your own private RV, sit down and eat your dinner, and you're in isolation. So it's not inside this restaurant. You certainly are more than 6 feet away. You're in a whole nother building than everyone else. This sense of creativity uh, invention, innovativeness, that's the word I'm looking for. The innovativeness of people is out there. And I just think we need to celebrate it today.
Oh, yeah, and women, we've been doing this for years, right? I can't, I can't figure out how to I've got to feed my family and I've got to figure out how to make these three ingredients appetizing to them all, right? We got to be creative. Well, as entrepreneurs, we do the same thing. And you and I have talked about 2020 till, we're sick in the to death of it. But again, what I love is the fact that we've been forced to be innovative and look for opportunities. Because, some of us may have just kind of rested on our laurels, may have just done the same old. We get caught up, right? We get caught up in the doing. Now, I don't know about you, but some days it's just do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, instead of thinking, how can I do it better? How can I be more effective or efficient?
Or how can I just, how can I take it in a whole different direction at some point that, others can benefit from, that I can be re-energized? How do I look at my business differently? Even in our own businesses, Wendie, we've seen where we may have had ideas about how to cut costs, be more efficient and effective. But no, we don't want to do that. We want to do the same things that we always do. We
Yep.
saw last night in our team meeting how our income was down, revenue down, but our net revenue was up because of the way we were able to capitalize on our efficiencies and doing business differently. Again, forced into doing that, but here we are today. So I hope people are encouraged about that,
Yeah.
because I think about our God. Our God is a God of creativeness, created the earth out of nothing. He had nothing to start with, right?
Exactly.
And he started putting it together. He created us out of the Adam out of the dust, and took woman out as a rib. We are creative beings, and he created us to be creative. I am excited to see what people are doing with it.
Absolutely. And I love Connie. Oh, what a beautiful woman. I don't know if you guys saw her podcast. She was on with Patrice the other day. If you didn't see that, you need to go check out Connie. What an amazing woman of God. But she says, God never runs out of ideas. And isn't that the truth? Oh, my stars. But here's what we do. Okay, no, well, all right. So here's what I tend to do. Maybe you ladies don't, but I tend to do this. I tend to have this massive to-do list, and all I can focus on is the to-do list. That's all I can see. And then I get overwhelmed. And then an opportunity comes my way. Instead of really evaluating it, what do? Nope, I got this to-do list. I'm overwhelmed. And it stifles us as well, I think. Now maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Oh, I don't think so, Wendy, because we look at it and we go, wait a minute, I don't have room for one more thing, right? I don't think I can squeeze it in there. However, what can I let go of?
Yep.
I think about like we clean our closets. You can't add another piece of clothing in until you take a piece of clothing out. And I think that that's the same way. What is on my to-do list? Does it really have value? What is it supporting? Do I have to do it now or can I be doing it later? It's about prioritizing. So it's exciting. I don't know. Maybe it's the sunshine out today, but I'm just kind of feeling energized.
Well, it's not only that, Deborah, it's also what should I not even be bothering with?
Mm.
Because that's some of the other things. Sometimes the Lord is trying to tell us that we shouldn't be doing that at all. Sometimes we need to delegate it. I love being able to just delegate it to God. Here you, Lord. I'm going to have to pass this one on up to you because it's above my pay grade and I can't do this one. I'm going to need to put this in your hands. If we did that more and more and just focused on what God's asked us to do, I used to really be overwhelmed by this and I know that I've missed a lot of opportunities because I got so overwhelmed and I thought I just can't take on one more thing. And I've missed some big opportunities that came my way. And I don't know if any of you guys have, but I have.
Well, I'm sure ladies on this line as well, something came along and I thought, not right now, maybe later. And then I watched somebody else doing it.
Mhm.
Ick. Doesn't feel very good, does it?
No.
Yeah.
One thing that's really helped me in that, one of, in Identity and Destiny course, helping you understand your purpose has really helped me with that to-do list and to really understanding what to say yes to and what to say no to. And I never really thought how that corresponded to opportunities either. Because if I'm so busy saying yes to everything, then if an opportunity comes my way, forget it. I
Well,
mean,
that or saying no to everything, right?
okay, I wish. There are days I wish I could say no to everything.
Well, we talk about, in our class, it's biblical entrepreneurship and identity, destiny, and others. We talk about opportunity being God's timing intersecting with our preparation. So, do we have a mindset that says, "What am I preparing for?" Lord, what is it that you have in the future that you're asking me to get ready to do? Maybe it's not today. Maybe it's not an immediate one, but something that's out there that I need to get ready and find myself prepared to do. Because when God's timing is right, we want to stand right on top of it and be able to take it.
Uh,
Do you have an experience with that, Wendy? Something that you've done that you said, "Wow, this is right in God's timing."
you know, it's interesting that you asked that because it's so true. I remember a few years back, I had merged my marketing company with another marketing company. We had some challenges and it was just really frustrating. We just didn't share the same core values. So here I took this opportunity because I thought it was the right opportunity and I kind of forced where I was thinking I needed to go, right? They had some services that, match with mine. And I thought, oh, let's just merge these instead of waiting on God's timing. It felt off. Part of me knew it was off, but I forced it. It was the longest 11 months of my life, right? And I thought, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I got a call, and a lady said, I'd love for you to come and work with me. And I said, no, I'm in business with this other person. And the Lord released me from that. It was his timing for that. And it is as frustrating as it was, I look back and it was a lesson that the Lord was trying to tell me. You didn't wait for me. Okay. That's number one. And look what kind of mess you got in. But look what happens when it's my timing. I open that door and it was one of the best decisions that I've ever made and it actually led me into ministry for the first time in my life, and ultimately led me here to Nehemiah Project and doing what I'm doing. But let me tell you, man.
Well, we've all had those. We've all had those, right? Where we forced something, or that we the opportunity came and we didn't take up the do the planning that comes in place of it, or the preparation that comes in place of that. So I know we mentioned it before, Wendie, but I think that as we look at how this Women in Business came around, that, you know, there was a long period of time when was heard the call, prepare for women in business. Didn't know what that was going to look like. Didn't seem to come together until we heard that, I heard get up and get going, do it this year, 2020, do it now, having you come alongside and doing it together. And when God blesses it, holy cow, great things that are coming out of that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm looking now, I'm looking ahead at what we can do to expand. And there are things, organizations that the Lord is saying, I want you to just get to know these people, right? Be a part of what they're doing. Learn about more about this, and I do see it as a season for the next growth, right? Preparation for that next growth. And I hope women out there today, or others, men as well, that if you're listening to us, that you are thinking back, what's the Lord having you get prepared for? What is He asking you to do today that may not seem to make sense, but that He's asking you to take that call because He has something so exciting and fantastic for you to jump into.
Yeah, just think of all those entrepreneurs who started businesses in 2020. I know we lost a lot. I know I'm not downplaying some of the challenges, but I want to raise the thought that, maybe that's because that season is over and God's got something else for you. Sometimes, now I don't know about any of y'all, but sometimes I've held on to stuff when God wanted me to let it go, and He says, I have something else for you. Here's an opportunity. I have prepared you. Get your hands off and do what I've asked. Let go.
It's so hard, isn't it, when you put your entire effort and your emotions into a business or a product or service, and you think of it almost as your child,
Yeah.
right? And how do I say it's okay to either walk away from it, close the door, turn off the lights, say goodbye? And how many people have had to do that? But I'm not. Um, I can't imagine what that, how that feels. I've had smaller experiences of that, and it's difficult, it's tough, but we have to trust in God because He has a better plan for us. And I love that, when you're being able to say, yes, I can release and I can let go because I trust in you, God, that you have a better plan, that you are my protector, my provider. You're looking out for me, and it will be okay.
Yeah, my word for this year, I really struggled with it. I think I shared with you guys trying to, where are you wanting me to go in next year, Lord? I was struggling with it. And my word is embrace. And when I first heard that, I was like, embrace? Embrace what? Lord, do you see what 2021 is going to look like for me? I mean, I'm looking at all kinds of change and moving and this and that and this and that, and I can just picture him just smiling down on me going, "Yes, my daughter. I happen to see that too." Right? Because he already knows.
Really? Oh, I'm glad you pointed that out to me. I missed that one, right?
I didn't realize that, sweetheart. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's right. I've already predestined your path. But, it's embrace. And it was also, I realized it's embrace the good and embrace the bad. My word for 2021 is just to embrace it because God's in control.
Yeah, you brought that up, and I think we talked about it last week as well. My word is courage, and have the courage to step out in a way, and it's important to be able to do that. And I think about the verse that for me that came along with this was about from 2 Timothy 1. It said, "Fan into flame the gift of God." Wow,
Ooh.
that takes some courage, right? To fan the flame. And wow, that's what not a fan dancer, but a fan in the flame, right? And I think that,
Another
okay,
opportunity. You just never
another
know. We
opportunity.
sang last week, you never know, people. Debra and I probably dance as well as we sing, so we may hold off on that. On
No demonstrations this week.
none. But Debra, we always want to talk about what's going on, right? So we're talking about opportunity today, those of you who may have just joined us. And we're talking about how our preparation meets God's timing. And that's what we talk about as opportunity. So what are you preparing for? And what opportunity does God have in store for you? We talked about some of the crazy ideas that came out of 2021, some of the amazing ideas and opportunities that have come out of 2020. And it's funny, I think that over the next year, we're going to see even more and more of those businesses that are being birthed, those new opportunities. And I am super excited to do that. But we talked about some of the struggles, right, that happens in that when we don't release things that we're supposed to. We talked about when we, don't prepare, when we take opportunities that aren't in God's timing. But we always want to bring you back to Scripture. We want to go back to what the Lord says. And so I want to share a scripture with you that really kind of talks about the opportunity. And I want to go to Galatians 6:10. Helpful, or I'm so then, as we have opportunity, let us do good to everyone, and especially to those who of the household of faith. So then we have an opportunity, right? And the Lord says, let us do good to everyone. Right? Move forward. Be positive. I love that when we're talking about being cheerful and being joyful. A lot of people haven't spent a lot of time being joyful last year, right? It's tough to be joyful when you're stuck in your house by yourself for 7 months on end, right? But it talks about here, let us do good to everyone, and especially to those who are of the household of faith.
Yeah, and I think we have opportunities. I mean, there are people that are maybe in their houses and not able to get out, that may have medical conditions that causes them to be concerned about being with out in public. What can we do? What are some things that we can do to be helpful?
Yeah. And another one, ladies, John 14:23, and Jesus replied, anyone who loves me will obey my teaching. Right? When we're struggling, when we are looking at an opportunity, if you want to know if it's the right opportunity, what are we supposed to do? It says right here, obey my teaching. The Lord teaches us, right?
Yeah, and I think it goes along with that as well, Wendie. I'm gonna go to James 2:18. We profess ourselves to be women of faith, or that we talk about our faith. But James reminds us, but someone will say, you have faith and I have works. Show me your faith apart from your works, and I will show you my faith by my works.
Ooh, I just got chill bumps.
What is if you're stepping out in faith, show what you're doing, walking out, holding on to God's hand and moving forward, because he will honor that faith. Stepping out into that big unknown. I think of that faith walk as being kind of I don't know, kind of a gray, misty area that I can't quite see very well. Maybe it's like into the fog, but I got to walk into it because the Lord's leading me that way. And and I have faith that He's not going to let me fall.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of you, we're coming close to the end of our time here today, and as we get ready to go back into our day and finish out our day, I really want to, if you're struggling and you're just not sure what opportunities are before you. If you're struggling where you just aren't sure which way to go, you're in transition. 2020 left you having to seek other employment, maybe a career change. You're looking at having to do some different things in your business. I'm going to really encourage you to reach out for some either through identity and destiny to help you just really go back and understand what your purpose is, and helping you learn to listen to God, or seek, join us at our group coaching. I think that that's just a really, put together that advisory team, that group of entrepreneurs that can sit with you and help you flush some of this stuff out. I love the group coaching model. It was one of those things as an entrepreneur was so powerful for me when I didn't feel so alone and could really come together. So I think that there's some opportunities for you to help you move in the direction that God's calling you.
And I'm going to add to that, Wendy, as well. If you're a business, you're starting a new business, or you have an existing business, but you want it to be more God centered, you're not sure that you've got it on the right track with that. Join in a biblical entrepreneurship class as we lead through the principles, practices, and planning of a kingdom business that centers itself and honors God in the process, that has a kingdom impact, that can also sustain you, build a profitable, sustainable business as well. And we have a number of those that are on the line here, Wendy, so people can take advantage of that.
Absolutely. But most of all, here's our desire. Come together. Let's link arms. Let's raise each other up. Our whole purpose of this Take a Breath, ladies, is just to step out and to be refreshed. If you've ever taken a nice deep cleansing breath, it is to refresh you, right? And help you not feel so overwhelmed. So that's kind of what we're here to do today. We're talking about opportunity. We're talking about when your preparation meets God's timing. Some of the things we talked about, go back, I love that to-do list that, we can delegate some of it up to God and let him manage as well. But, this is, we were a little bit more serious today, Debra. I don't know. I feel a little more serious in our conversation. This just feels deep. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Well, it is. No, I think it is. Well, it is deep, but it's important, right?
Mm,
Because even though we want to take a breath and we want to take a rest for a moment, these are some questions that are on our minds as well. And
yeah.
we have to address that. So, not every day are we silly.
Well, probably a good thing. We've got Linda on the line, and I just want to point out she's one of those women entrepreneurs I just really admire. Taking opportunities. She's a pianist, and she, when we got to lockdown, and she played at weddings and things, and so how she's had to really be creative, and look for new opportunities. And that I love when we do that. And I just think that that's what we got to remember to do, is to embrace what's happening and then ask God for direction and be innovative and be courageous. Be
That's right.
courageous.
And then there's always that final thing for us to do, Wendy.
Yep, that's right. So today we're going to leave you with our scripture that we want to always point you back to, 1 Corinthians 16:11. Look to the Lord and his strength and seek his face always. Thank you for joining us today. We hope that you have a blessed day. We will see you next Thursday at our regularly scheduled time, and hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.